Let's be real. Most of you watching this think you're running an agency. You've got a few clients, you have a small team, probably you even have solid revenue coming in. But the second that you step away from your computer, everything falls apart. Day in, day out, you're stuck doing all the calls with your clients, reviewing random things 24/7, and answering the same stupid questions over and over again. Deep down, your spidey senses are telling you, you know that this is not sustainable. If you're feeling this type of pressure, this video is going to change the way you operate your business forever. Briefly about me, my name is Ben. Over the last 5 years, I've scaled dozens of agencies from messy 6-figure solopreneurs to high 7- and 8-figure machines. One of my best clients went from $80K per month to 1.5 million American US dollars per month. And no, this is not a flex. It's a pattern, because every single agency that wants to scale hits the same breaking point. The founder becomes the bottleneck. And unfortunately, or realistically, the only way out is systems. This video is about the single most important document and system that you have to establish in your business. And I'd bet money that you're probably missing it right now. SOPs, Standard Operating Procedures. Every agency hits this certain transition point where you're doing good work, you're making the money, but you're still answering the same WhatsApp messages every single day. You review work and think, this is not how I would do it. You hire people just to realize that you have to spend all day managing them. Your team is not scaling your vision. You're literally micromanaging at a higher level. Because let me make it clear, if your agency only works when you work, you do not have a business. You absolutely and utterly have a freelancer circus, where you have a couple freelancers and everyone's dancing around and just doing whatever they want. You have a circus. So, you're probably asking yourself, what the hell is an SOP? An SOP is a step-by-step guide that explains exactly how a task is done. So you don't have to do it. It is the way how you can transfer your standards, your logic, and your execution into the hands of other people without lowering the quality. That's the important part. You can let other people do work following exactly your standard. Why? Because you have a standardized operating procedure, SOP. Examples for SOPs that I've used, tons of my clients have used, is SOPs for onboarding a new client, SOPs for how to write a weekly report for whatever department someone is working in. Even simple things like how to build a carousel post for Instagram, how to write captions, schedule posts, deal with client revisions, whatever comes up, you can use SOPs to standardize it. The good thing is that this tiny little document removes the guesswork and creates consistency. SOPs turn chaos into a predictable operation. Okay, now you understand what an SOP is, and you're probably wondering, why the hell do I need this? Because the thing is that without SOPs, you're explaining the same thing 10 times. You're stuck reviewing work that just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like it's done properly. You onboard new people, but still end up doing half of their job. Everything flows back to you and only you. And this might sound too simple to be true, but it's not. As soon as you have SOPs, work will get done exactly how you want it to get done by someone else. You can onboard new people 10 times faster. And at the same time, you free up dozens of hours a week without the quality dropping. And the biggest thing for me is that you stop being the bottleneck. You stop being the reason why your business is not scaling. Because scaling is not just about more revenue or more clients. It's about optimizing yourself. I mean, what kind of business has longevity that wouldn't work if you're sick for 2 weeks? For your business to be a proper business, you have to standardize things. You have to build systems. You want to build a fundament that can handle growth without always having the risk of exploding, breaking the backend. So now you know what an SOP is, why you need it. And now I want to tell you where you have to start, in which areas SOPs make the most sense. Where to start? Look, you do not need 50 SOPs. You just need the right few to start. And I don't want you to micromanage and become like an SOP nerd. I want you to sit down and pick the right areas where things constantly slow down, break, or require you to intervene. A very good way to do this is just to look at, to track your time and then look at processes that sound pretty simple in theory, but then you still have to jump back and forth all the time and they cost you way too much time. So where to start? I would start with areas like client onboarding, where you standardize the whole process, what happens after someone signs a contract, what calls happen, what documents, what data has to be collected. All this can be standardized. Content production, especially things like how you want someone to script your videos or how the workflow of approvals go, and even things like publishing. Like you can standardize everything in regards to content production. Another important area is reporting. If you have a business, you will need reports from your people and you want to standardize this. You don't want to be forced to give feedback after every single report. You want your people to follow a standardized template that you develop. And also a very useful one is for client communication protocols. Because if you have certain ways of talking to your customers that work, and then you put someone from your team into this communication role and you realize that everything blows up, that's because you're missing a clear system for how to respond, how to handle conflicts. This is what you need. You need an SOP for your client communication. Hiring and training is obviously also very, very important. You want to have a clear-cut structure of how you get new team members on your team without having to constantly babysit them all the time. The thing is that if you document these processes well and actually sit down and ask yourself what a good or excellent result is for a certain process, and you document it and you break it down, then you will immediately feel like you're operating at a much higher level. Next up, let's get into how you can write a perfect SOP. The problem is that most of you probably heard of SOPs before and you write them like school assignments. You write useless blocks of text that nobody wants to read. You literally write it like an exam. 50 different lines, irrelevant text. And I will give you my simple system that I've built and established over the last few years that actually work. So, step number 1 is you pick a task that you want to delegate. Step number 2 is you do it yourself from start to finish. Step number 3 is you write down every single step. Click by click, word by word. It can be as detailed as possible. Step number 4, you ask yourself, could someone who's never done this before follow this perfectly? This is a very important question that you have to answer, because if you cannot answer this question and someone that has never done this certain task before doesn't understand it, then your SOP is useless. So ask yourself this question. Step number 5, hand it off to the relevant people, your team, whoever, and use it. Then step number 6 is get active feedback from the people using it and refine it. You have to update it when the process changes, and your SOP should not be a thing you do once, but you should allow the SOP to evolve. So you have to monitor it and keep it updated. A little extra tip I have, if you follow all these steps, is that you go to the person that is in charge of using it and tell them that you, or not tell them, but you want to incentivize them to actually use it. So if you see a process that's not working like you want it to, you create the SOP, you go to the relevant person and you tell them, look, if you use this SOP for the next 7 days straight, and I will check at the end of the week and the results are like I explained in this SOP, then I will give you a $200 Amazon gift card. It sounds clowny, but it actually works. People will feel incentivized. This is just a little trick, but that can make the transition of how to go from no SOP to having an SOP much easier. Give a $150 gift card to whoever uses the onboarding SOP. This is not documentation. This is literally freedom for your system in a Google Doc. This is peace of mind that you create by systematizing things. And the truth is that most agencies don't fail because of a bad service. They fail because they refuse to let go of control. They are literally addicted to being included in every decision, every task, every Slack channel, every WhatsApp group. It's not a flex being involved, being the person that does everything. It's being unnecessary. If you do not build the system, you will always be the system. If your team cannot operate without you, you will never grow beyond you. This is not some woo-woo shit, but if you are afraid of letting go and feel like you're the only person that gets it and you're some genius that fell from the sky, you will never make it. And this is quite literally what separates solopreneur operators from CEOs, Chief Executive Officers, because these are the people. I mean, ask yourself, what does a CEO do? His role is to take data, to analyze this data, and to build systems and KPIs to fix the things that he found out from this data. So if you're afraid of systematizing, you will never scale. And if you're serious about building a real agency, an agency that runs without your nervous system being plugged into every single wire, you have to start writing SOPs. Not next month, not when you have time. Start today. You will be shocked how much lighter your business feels when it doesn't all live inside your head. If you want me to show you a little more of my magic, how I scaled dozens of agencies by systematizing, hiring, changing the way they think. This channel is built for people who are tired of being the operators and are looking to actually start leading. There's more tactical videos coming very soon, and I will help you build a machine out of your business.